my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dani and this is Coffee Break with Dani. Today we're gonna get ready together. I'm gonna try a bunch of new products, some oldies but goodies with a makeover. We're just gonna talk about a bunch of stuff that could have almost ruined my day. Like they're a little there's some triggers happening in this video that you and I are going to enjoy together. For example, who wants an under eye brightener with glitter in it? You know, what I'm trying to do is hide the panda. I'm not trying to put the panda on stage. So we're gonna talk about it together, but if you wanna see how I got this look using a lot of new products, all you have to do is keep on watching. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is, I haven't brushed out my hair. I currently have hairspray in it. Whoa, did you see that muscle? Look at that muscle. Dang, y'all. Huh, let me tell you. So we are going to clip our hair back. You see all the little sections from hairspray. I don't like to brush it out until I absolutely have to. My hair holds a curl as long as I need it to because it has natural texture to it, but just in case, I like to stack the deck. You know what I mean? Like more is more in this situation. So I'm gonna bring you in a little bit so we could do our face. Today we're gonna play with some new makeup, not a lot, a little bit, I would say. There's some new products that I would like to do like a blind first impression on. Oh my goodness. You missed it, but I'm kind of making a mess over here. So there's a few products that I want to do, like just a raw, blind first impression. I just purchased them a few days ago, a few weeks, I don't know, whenever you see this. So I try to remember, I'm like over honest to a fault. It's like, okay, well, it was a few days ago, but when this video goes up, it'll be more than a few days. It could be weeks actually, so whatevs. So I just went in with the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I'm pretty sure mine is a few years old. So if you guys go through your makeup stash, like just think about it. Like, when was the last time I repurchased you? Or actually, when was the last time I purchased you? So I recently hauled some products from Ulta, and I only went into Ulta because I was looking for, you see my stash? Do you see my stash right there? I was only looking for a specific set of new products from Bliss, and which I have been using and I'm a huge fan of. Like, it's obviously too soon to say, oh, I've noticed a difference, but I just went in looking for these products. I don't think you guys get the extent of how much product is on my face right now. So this is from Pixi, and it was sold out for months. It's the Pixi Vitamin C plus Vitamin C or C Vitamin plus. I hate when they do catchy little logos and you don't really know what the name is. Pixi Vitamin C Under Eye Brightener. It looks like this. It was sold out for quite a bit. Finally got my hands on it, I think once the trend wore off. And so I really wanted to try it, and I got it at Ulta when I was tracking down some Bliss products that I just mentioned. And you know, I swatched it, and this is one of those products that you can wear even on days where you're not doing your makeup. So it's just an under eye brightener. It's supposed to kind of camouflage your under eyes if you have dark circles like I do, which I struggle with. And I can't say I'm a fan. Like, it's glittery. The last thing I want to do is like throw my dark under eyes a parade, you know? It's like confetti, like, hey everyone, look at my dark under eyes. Confetti cannons. Yeah, no, I don't know. And can you tell it's like yellow up here, and then the rest of my face looks pink. So I think this might be a pass for me, because you're supposed to be able to wear it under makeup or on its own, just after your morning skincare routine. But I don't, am I being critical right now? Maybe I'm being critical, but I can't say I'm a fan. So moving on, the next new product that I want to try, that I'm dying to try, is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. It's a hyaluronic acid and squalane oil-free sheer to medium coverage tinted moisturizer. Looks like this. I got two colors because I wasn't sure where I would be. I'm probably not one of the shades, I'm probably both. So I got the light medium and the medium tan. It claims to be an oil-free perfector that's hydrating and buildable and gives you a soft, luminous complexion. Mixed reviews on this. Also mixed commentary on Wet n Wild as to whether or not it's cruelty-free or not. Now, I spoke to the brand directly. I spoke to the brand directly. No, like I tagged them in a post or something because I did a nail swatch post, and you guys are like real quick about whether it's not cruelty free or not. And so I got a lot of comments about it. They actually contacted me directly and gave me all these links and videos and documentation as to why they are cruelty free. So this is the light medium. So obviously it's a little too light for me at the moment. And then this is the medium tan. I'm not sure what the shade range is or how many there are. Let's see, this is the medium tan. Ooh, I think I might be this one. Since when have I ever been a medium tan, you guys? Anyway, cruelty free is a very, that's a really good match, the medium tan. Cruelty free is a very confusing area, and I think there should be some gray area and there should be some forgiveness in choices we make. I think it boils down a lot to how cruelty free are you? Like, is your toothpaste and dish soap and shampoo and cleaning supplies at home, are they also cruelty free? Or are you cruelty free including the umbrella? Like, you really have to make a choice for yourself and for your family, or however you decided to go cruelty free, or whatever your motives are, and just kind of go by your own set of guidelines. So for me, I was very confused, and I'm still confused, you know. Just up until recently, I thought Dove and Tresemme were not cruelty free, and so I was like rushing through to use up like my favorite hairspray and mousse and stuff. And a lot of you guys messaged me and said that they are cruelty free, or that Tresemme is actually becoming cruelty free in the next year. And then within that comment, people responded and said, no, Tresemme is not cruelty free, and Dove isn't either because they're available in China. And so it's like, how cruelty free are you? You know, like, where are your boundaries or your guidelines or your limits when it comes to cruelty free products? This smells like Play-Doh. Oh my gosh, it full on smells like Play-Doh. This product is so pretty. I am instantly, first impression, I'm in love with it. Wow, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous product. Nice finish. I don't know if it's because I have that primer underneath or the moisturizer that I use under it or whatever. You know, there's so many factors when you're reviewing like a foundation type product. So I don't know if it's the combo of products that I have layered on my face. I don't know if the product itself is that amazing. But if you guys like very lightweight foundation-like products and you have normal skin, not too much stuff that you want to cover up, I think you might like this. This is really, really pretty. I would almost put this on without setting it. We'll see how it lasts throughout the day. Obviously, this is a raw first impression. It's been on my face for 30 seconds, but for the price point and how in love with it I am, just initially, I say it's worth the gamble. We definitely have to look into the shade ranges to see if it's one of those like fair launches where they have enough to really encompass a lot of skin tones. I am a little miffed. Is miffed even a word? What I'm trying to say is I'm a little hesitant to look into it, because if I'm already a medium tan, like, how far do you go with these names? Because I've never been a medium tan. In fact, right now I would consider myself being just a straight across the board medium with neutral to maybe golden undertones. I wish I had olive undertones. Wouldn't that be sexy? Like, I love olive undertones. They're so pretty, but I tend to fluctuate between neutral and golden. And when I over exfoliate, I'm a little on the cool tone side. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not supposed to be, but I damage my skin. So this is definitely buildable, and you saw how much time I allotted for it to set. Not much. So it's easy to buildable. It's easy to buildable. It's easy to build. You don't have to give a lot of time in between for that to happen. It's very forgiving. How are we on the color? The color match is pretty good. It's a little light, but not so much so where, like, you know, you gotta fight someone about it. You know what I mean? So I like it. Good job, Wet n Wild. I'm a fan. So so far the Tinted Hydrator raw first impression, love it. And then we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. Probably this color here. Yeah, so this is in the shade Medium 30W, so it's a medium warm. Does this have a scent to it? Man, these cookie pens always expire on me. The worst part is that I don't realize it until it's already on my face. And I'm like, where's that smell coming from? Too late, it's already on your face. So maybe I am a little more tan than I thought, because this is the medium click pen and it seems to be a pretty good shade for me at the moment. Whoa, maybe not. Oh man, I'm my own worst hot take at the moment. You know, have you guys, have you been here since we talked about my hot takes where I'm like, ugh, when people put concealer that's like 17 shades lighter than their skin tone, I don't like that. Like, you know when I like it? When I go to the theater or when I go to like a show, like that's when I love stage makeup. But on us, it's like, okay, well, if that's what you like, it makes you happy, go for it. But if I sit here and like, I would be inauthentic where I'm like, okay, grab a concealer that's like 17 shades lighter. Like, this is not supposed to happen. I'm underestimating my tanness. So we're gonna bump it out with the same sponge we used for the Tinted Hydrator. Is that what it's called? Tinted Hydrator? Yeah, I learned it. Hey, for someone that's terrible at remembering new things. You guys, is your hard drive full? Like my hard drive is full. I am almost 37 years old and I've reached the point where my hard drive is officially full. So if I would like to store a new memory, I am at capacity, so I have to drag and drop into my recycle bin, clear the recycle bin out in order for me to store something new. And it's hard because we have 4 kids that come home and telling us stories with new friends and teachers and extracurricular things and, you know, friends of friends with breakups and cute boys in like health class and stuff like that. And I can't store all that information unless I'm gonna forget something like, I don't know, a recipe that I like or some random fact that I learned 17 years ago. So let me know if you guys are on the same boat as me and your hard drive is full and you are coping with it, because it's a little hard, you know, it's a little hard to cope when your memory is at capacity. So I'd like to set my face, but at the same time I also don't want to. I love the finish of this product. It reminds me a little bit of the Bare Minerals. God, this glittery, man, like this stuff, like why was it sold out for so long? Do people like to put confetti under their eyes? I should put a trigger warning, you know, like do you get easily triggered by your panda eyes? Because then you're prepared for this video. So I am setting my under eye. I don't know if this was a good choice, but we're just gonna go with it because it's too late now. It's already under my face. And you know what? It's totally fine because there's already glitter under my eyes. So how much worse can it actually get? We're not gonna let this glittery under eye situation rain on our parade, because we may have potentially found a new base product that we love. And this is a big deal. Like this does not have, wow, I look like an owl right now. I look like an owl. But it's fine. It's totally fine. We're just gonna roll with that. We need a brush. Let's get a brush over here. And then we are going to get, you know what? I haven't used this guy in a long time and this is so good. It's the Covergirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. This is probably too light for me right now. Let's see. I mean, how much worse can it get? I look like an owl, then I'll look like a polar bear. Whatever. No big deal. Let's see. We'll just put it on the middle of our face, you know? Like, look at me. Just in the middle of my face. Let's see if this is any darker. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish in Medium. Who would have thought I'd be in this, I'd have this moment in life where none of my products are dark enough. All right, so with powder on my face, how many different powders did I use? We got 1, we got 2, we got this one, which is a little messy, but we're gonna, trigger warning number 3, Dani makes a mess. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting. What am I doing? Just, you know what, you guys, look at this. It's totally fine. As long as you look like you have it all together, You know, no one needs to know. No one needs to know that you're human. So far, I'm still in love with this stuff. I am going to do my brows and I'll be right back. Like the cool kids would say, BRB. Wait, then that doesn't make it cool anymore, does it? All right, you guys, welcome to my rant corner. In today's rant episode with Dani, we're gonna talk about how upset we are at that Pixi serum. I don't know if you guys can tell. Do you see that? All of that is the curdled vitamin C brightening serum. Is it a corrector? Like, hold on a second. Hold, please. Don't mind my loud noise. It's an under eye brightener. Energizing under eye perfector. Maybe I put it on wrong. Tap to apply on the under eye, use alone or under concealer. I can't imagine how I would have done it wrong, but yep, there you go. Do you see that curdling? I love the word curdling. Like it has like the perfect amount of like negative impact, you know? But see, gosh, that is terrible. And now it's gonna like, so as opposed to having panda eyes, you could have glittery eyes. And then when it curdles, then you have red eyes from scrubbing off all the curdling that has occurred. So now I have that like flushing. So what would you like? Do you want to just embrace your panda eyes? Like, I don't think this is something that just goes away, you know? You learn to love it and embrace it like your weird personality. All right, we are going to mix things up a little bit and do face first. Oh God, I always give you guys my best angles, you know? Like that's how you know I'm invested in us, is you get the full-on amazing angles, that the best that I could provide. So what we're gonna do is do the face first, and I want you guys to take note to the product on my face, the Tinted Hydrator from Wet n Wild. So it actually oxidized, and it oxidizes a little pink. So see how it's super important to not just stick with a first impression. Like you have to do a first impression, but you kind of have to sweat through it, gym through it, wear it throughout the day, coat it with powder, don't use powder, wear it for 6, 8 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Like it's important to note all those things along the way, because first impression I would have been like, yeah, this is amazing. And I still really, really like it. But if you're someone that hates the pink, like when I tell you that my mom gets very triggered to the point of rage when her pink shows through, this would obviously be a product that you don't want to use because it will add to some of the pink on your skin. So there's that. So we're gonna do face. No surprise, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow. Have you guys seen that Ulta has a mini version of it now? It is the cutest thing ever. And if you guys didn't want to bite the bullet, you're like, oh wait, that's one of Dani's favorite products, but it's very expensive. It lasts a very long time. Like I will probably buy it once a year when I use makeup regularly. When I don't, like during this amazing pandemic we're going through, it's been a while since I've had to repurchase one. So it lasts quite a long time. But if you didn't want to get the full size, I think it's like $70, then you can get the mini and try it out and see if you like it. But for me, it's one of those where I'm gonna stop looking for a bronzer because this is it. If something new and exciting comes out, I'll try it, but go back and try to replace it? No, not with something existing already. Then we're gonna go in with Antonym. This is a vegan, cruelty-free, clean beauty brand, non-toxic, etc., etc. It comes in a really cool little bamboo case. It's one of my favorite blushes, but I do have to build it. So if you guys are someone that's in a hurry and you just wanna go wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, with like a really dark, it's not, you really gotta work it. Yeah, do you know? No. And then a lot of questions on this brush every time, blush brush. Every time I bust it out, which any get ready with me, ton of questions on this brush. This is the MAC 127. It is the duo fiber brush. I don't have a preference to which side I use. In fact, it performs pretty much the same no matter what side. I tend to gravitate towards the dark bristles though, which are the natural hair, as opposed to the synthetic. It is from the Alluring Aquatics collection years ago. Man, that sold out so hard, but the brush itself is not limited edition, so you can get it with the regular plastic black handle that MAC has. Here's another new product. So the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighters, I have the shade Kitten. It is one of my favorite beauty products of all time. It's a weird putty consistency. In order to get product, you really have to get in there. And it's just one of those products that you could do on your Cupid's bow. You could do like on your bare skin for a very natural glow. You can do it on your eyelid. You do it on the high points of your temple. You can do it on your shoulders. Like, it's just one of those products that is so, it makes you feel inspired to play with it. And so I wanted to try a new shade, and I didn't know they had this really beautiful, there's my big finger mark, look at that. They have this really beautiful pink one. It's called Incandescence. Kitten is the best one. Like, if you need one, if you want to get one, get Kitten for sure. But I thought we would mix it up. This is why you're not supposed to walk into Ulta looking for a product, you know, because when you're on a mission to find, you will find. El que busca encuentra, you know what I mean? I love this brush. It's from It Cosmetics for Ulta. So it's It brushes for Ulta. It's the best size. It's the best synthetic brush for cream products. Love it. So let's see if we still love it after dipping it into this pinkness. Okay, that is like super natural. Super natural. It is a very natural glow that it gives despite being a pink highlighter. Here we're talking about breaking up with pinkness. Look at this. And we're putting it right back on our face. So it gives a very subtle glow, but it's a little bit more of a natural skin tone blendy glow. So if you're going for a very, very highlighter look, highlighter look, then this isn't gonna scratch your itch. So let me show you guys a swatch. Do you see it's right there on my ring finger? And then I'll put it on right here. So it's very subtle. Whereas Kitten is subtle, but it's more radiant. So you're not gonna get the chunky glitter. Well, adjust that cool tone. Look at that. I'm like real cool right now. Put on some Jeopardy music. I mean, even they get time to think about it, you know? So why can't I get time to load up my brush? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah? No? All right. Okay, that's a good bit. That's a very good bit. You know what? This product would be really good if you have a matte blush that you kind of want to like kick it up a notch. See, even my nose. You guys, my nose has been looking crooked. Have you noticed that? Like in these last two Get Ready With Me's, when I highlight my nose has been glowing crooked. Like my nose goes like this. No, like this. It goes like this, like a J. Have you noticed? I wonder if it's because I sleep on my face. I need to get one of those beauty pillows, you guys. So definitely, if you guys have a matte blush or maybe just a slight shimmery blush and you want to maybe step it up a notch, make it a little more glowy, this would be a good option for that. I like it. I do. I'm proud of my purchase. It's still not better than Kitten, which y'all know how I feel about Kitten, but definitely good enough for me. All right, moving on to eyeballs. Let's do this. Did you guys hear about Wet n Wild bringing back these little guys? This is historical makeup, okay? Like, if you know anything about anything, like this is historical makeup. Wet n Wild's little five pan palettes, they brought them back, but they brought them back and now they look like the e.l.f. mini palettes. I have my thoughts about that. You know, why can't you just bring them back the way that they were? Do you guys remember those cute little, it's like a little rectangle. And so you had like the brow bone and then the 4 colors. Now they're all the same size, which is really pretty, but they are, I wonder if they changed the formula. Is it like new and improved? This is Petal-It, like petal. Then I also got, this isn't the haul, but I'm excited, so I want to show you, Walking on Eggshells, which was like their #1 bestseller. They discontinued it. People lost it. They were buying it on eBay and then Go Commando. So yeah, I don't know why it says new on it. It should be like brought back. Or what do they say? Back for a limited time. I'm thinking about nacho fries right now. Like, who's with me? No? Anybody? All right, we're getting into it. We're gonna use the super shimmery, sparkly shade. I'm gonna try and stick to this palette. I have this habit of not being able to find the color I want, so I just reach for another palette, which is fine, because isn't that the whole point of like a really nice makeup collection? But Ooh, I can't say I'm a fan of that. Ready? Let's see. Oh, it's kind of chunky. Well, there goes my mission. I really don't want to get up, so I'm gonna open Walking on Eggshells. There's a pretty color in there. God, these are impossible to open, which I appreciate because people open stuff at the store and it drives me bananas. I ordered some stuff from Walmart the other day, and Walmart's doing this thing right now where depending on what you order, they source it from a local store, and then like a DoorDasher brings it to your house the same day. It's kind of creepy, kind of cool, but when they source a lipstick from a local store, what are you expecting? Yeah, exactly what you would see at the store is exactly what arrives. Like, why isn't there any quality control? So I ordered a few beauty products that I needed, and when it got delivered, the lipstick was totally used. It was so gross. So obviously I had to go back to the store in person and be like, why did you give me this garbage? And there goes the whole point of the convenience of having it delivered, you know? Which, obviously first world problems, you guys. I recognize how convenient that is, but these stickers, albeit very, very annoying to open because they're so secure, it's totally gonna save you from buying a product that someone's fingers have been all in it. You know, I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, because like, I think even though my mom was very like, don't open packages, don't eat food at the grocery store, like do not, until you have given your money to the person, you cannot do anything to that product. Like my mom was very, very strict about that. I don't know if it's maybe how I'm wired, but to me, logically, it's like, well, I haven't bought it. I'm not gonna eat the grapes at the store, you know? I haven't purchased this makeup, or this makeup might be for someone else, so I'm not gonna put my fingers in it. Like to me, that's just logic, common sense. And when people do that at the store, Lord help me, it makes me want to lose it, like full on bonkers lose it. Using a color switch, and I'm going to obviously dip it into this beautiful mauve, and that's going to be our transition. I haven't done, and I'm gonna regret this, so I'm just gonna go for it now. Just a little extra powder. Not too crazy like I normally do, but just a little so that the cleanup is easier, you know? And then I'll go in with that mauve as my transition color. That is so pretty. Look at that. Go Wet n Wild. It's so confusing to like decide, is this cruelty-free enough for you? Like, what does cruelty-free mean for you? It's a very, never in my almost 10 years of being in this makeup industry, kind of, as a customer, not an expert, has a topic ever confused me as much. You know, never has it ever confused me as much as cruelty-free does. So I don't know, there's a lot of great, amazing resources. So many women that have worked so hard to do their research and reach out personally to so many brands, which I can appreciate. But even between those resources, some stuff doesn't line up. So it can be really, really confusing. And when it comes to stuff like that, like, I don't think it's one of those things where you can be black and white about it. I don't think it's one of those things where it's like yes or no. I think there has to be a lot of gray area, because cruelty-free might mean something different to you or me or, you know, the bloggers. I think it's one of those things we have to give ourselves a little grace with, because you don't stop learning about the subject. It's not like, oh, you learned all the objectives, boom, you get your certificate, you're an expert. No, it's like continuously changing, and you just, it's really hard to keep up, you know? I think I'm doing another purple look unintentionally. Look at that. Who would have thought? I totally did a purple look last week, and here we are again, reaching for the purple palette. I guess that's okay, huh? I took the darkest shade in the palette. I don't remember the quality of these shadows being this way. It's not crappy, it's just not super buttery. They're a little flaky, you know, especially the ones with glitter or like bigger shimmer chunks. I don't remember. I mean, it's been like 8 years since I've touched one of those little quints. Quints? That's a palette with 5 colors, right? A quint. I mean, it's been that long, so I don't know. Maybe it's different, maybe it's not, maybe I don't remember. Maybe since then I've been spoiled with better eyeshadows are more expensive or better quality or whatever. Or maybe my preferences have changed, because that's also a thing, you know? Maybe my preferences have changed. But yeah, I mean, you could see I'm not struggling with blending. The colors are beautiful. They're showing up true to tone, which is nice. And for the price, can I really be pulling it apart this much? Probably shouldn't, you know what I mean? That's really pretty. All right, now let's take maybe this brush and the really beautiful pink in the middle. I hope this works. I really don't want to use my finger. There we go, look at that difference. Use God's brushes. Use the brushes that God gave you, and then you get a really beautiful, look, oh yeah, that's pretty. Moving on to this eye. That's so pretty. That's like full on metallic. All right, we're gonna go back in with a little bit of the darkest shade, and let's start with this one up here. We gotta create sort of like a little border from the light and the dark. So create like a little frame, like you're framing it out a little bit. Blending it, but framing it out. So there's not a lot of crossover. And we'll do the same with this side. So like right about here, right where the crease is. Go in really lightly so you don't dump a ton of product and then have a harder time blending it out. And then just kind of lightly brush around, almost like you are trying to color within the lines. There we go. What do we think? All right, this is where I share the bad news. This is as symmetrical as it's gonna get. You guys, we talked about it last week. Symmetrical clown, that's your goal. Your goal is symmetrical clown, so there is a bit of wiggle room for error. There's a bit of grace and pardon. Pretty, right? That's real pretty. This, you see how it's not super blendy right here, but that's okay, because that's how I do my makeup. And then we're gonna go in with I say we go in with the dark color again. We'll clean off this guy here, and we'll go in with the dark color just on the bottom to kind of be cohesive. Do you guys remember that? You know, you remember. Well, that's pretty. It's a really beautiful dark purple, and it has sort of like a sheen or shimmer to it. So it's very forgiving when it comes to the blending because of that little glow that it has. Don't bring it down too low though, because playing with purple is like playing with fire. You don't want to look like you had a wild night, you know what I mean? Like, oops, I fell behind the bar. You know? I'm gonna do my lashes off camera so I could yell and wrestle them a little bit, fight with them, because I know this one right here is gonna give me this one's gonna put up a fight. I fell asleep on my face, so my lashes are like, so I'm gonna have to fight with this for a little bit. I'll be right back. We'll do lips and we'll be done. All right, you guys, I went in and brushed my hair. I fought with my lashes. It was a match, you know. It was a long, arduous match. I won, and I won using the Lash Freak mascara from Urban Decay. I don't know why people don't like this mascara. It's amazing. Like it's violently voluminous, you know. The brush is a little weird, and it does take some maneuvering and some like weird hand placement. But I mean, look at, right? This wasn't looking, you see how it has that little curve to it? Because from where I sleep face planted. So I can't do much about that, but with everything else, I mean, I think it did a very good job. We are going to jump into my bin of new stuff that I actually want to try and see if I can find a lip color in here that might be good for today's look. What do we think? Let's see. Guess whatever we got in here, right? So Urban Decay, you know, this is like the epitome of a brand with ADD. Redoing and redoing and redoing and redoing products. So this is the Urban Decay Vice lipstick. They redid all their Vice lipsticks, so now they're all vegan. They have aloe vera, avocado oil. They have the same moisturizing finishes, the Shine Matte and Cream. And there's 35 colors. I liked the formula before. I don't know if the formula has changed significantly, but I don't think so. I bet they just did it so that they would all be vegan now. But that's just like my random barbaric assumption. This one's called What's Your Sign? They also changed the exterior packaging. Now it looks all like really artsy fartsy. It's very cute. The bullet itself is also different now. Is it it's not magnetic closure. I'm so spoiled. I'm like, is it magnetic? It's a little brown for today. So let's put that to the side. What about this one? This one's called Naked. Maybe? Yeah, that's an option. This is local and it's the shine finish. So this didn't change, like the actual shape of the bullet. I love that they do that. So between the two types of finishes, the shape of the actual bullet is different. So this one's matte. This is a shine. They smell pretty. I think I want to do this one. Naked. Let's try Naked. Oh man, these caps, I don't know if you can tell, but they have an angle in them. So you got to make sure it lines up perfectly. Again, first world problems, but you know, that's what we're here for, to complain like friends. Let's go in with Naked. It's a matte. Ooh. What do we think? That's a pretty color. It's almost a little too light for my preference, but with a lip liner, as I keep going, with a lip liner, yeah, that's too light, you guys. I don't like it. I mean, I like it, I just don't like it on its own. Back to the drawing board. Let's just go in with this one. What's Your Sign? Ready? The Urban Decay mattes are so delicious. They remind me of the formula of the NARS Audacious lipsticks, which I can no longer use because NARS, you gotta work on that, buddy. You gotta work on being cruelty free. But I miss that formula so much, and the matte formula of these Urban Decay lipsticks is just like it. So if you want cruelty free and you miss that super matte but very, very creamy formula, this is the way to go. Now let's wipe it off of our Invisalign and we can do our outro. All right, you guys, that is it for this Get Ready With Me. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Like any and all my videos, all the products that I spoke about, that I showed, that I featured, that we looked at, that we use, will be listed and linked in the description box of this video. Still loving this tinted hydrator. However, I would say it does oxidize, so keep that in mind. I would say about half a shade, and it oxidizes a little pink. So as opposed to other products that some oxidize tanner or darker, some oxidize pink, some oxidize orange, this has a little bit of a pink to it, but it's not a deal breaker. I mean, look, isn't it gorgeous? I'm kind of in love, so I'll make sure to list that in the description box below as well, along with my shade color. But other than that, I think that's it. I love you guys so much, and you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, and learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye, guys.